Hello, ladies and gentlemen, friends and followers. It's me again, back with another live stream. Today with the next leg of the BizJet Worldtour on IVAO. Hi Jeremy, he just wrote in the chat he's as well, finally flying to Antalya. So I don't know why this is important, but yeah, I'm finally going to Antalya. And yeah, we are already here at the airport of Kiev, Giuliani Airport. And without further ado, let's jump right into the aircraft. Our friend is back here as well again. I'm at the same gate, I think, as we parked last time. I just hope that this runway is active over here, so I don't have to taxi down all the runway until we can finally turn around. So the weather today is not as nice as it was during the approach, but still it's okay. We have 270 degrees with 5 meters per second, so that should be roughly around 10 knots. Visibility is greater than 10 kilometers. We can see the clouds back here, and we can also see that the clouds are moving quite fast over us, above us, with a temperature of 6 degrees. So there's no anti-ice needed on the ground, but we maybe have to switch it up in the air once we fly through the clouds. So we have to remember that. And there's also no change to the weather within the next minutes and hours. At least it's not expected. So we will definitely be there. Oh, Jeremy has been to Italia very often in real life. Okay, so you can tell me then later on if the airport is quite accurate. I mean, of course, it's standard scenery, so you won't have to expect like very nice textures or real life textures, real life gates and stuff like that. But well, anyway, for standard scenery, I'm very excited on how the airport will look like. So let us do our standard procedure. So we get rid of these, we turn on the batteries and the external power. Bus ties and generators will be activated, and turn on the recognition lights as well as the emergency lights to arm. That's it with the setup of the aircraft in the first steps. That just takes a few seconds to do that. So we wait for the system test, which should be okay in a few seconds. And then we start to set up our GPS. And actually we start to refuel first. So system test is okay. So then we start to refuel. We need 2,655 tons. 2,655, so take 2,714. I cannot type into here, so I need to switch over here. And that's why I cannot do it exactly like I would need it to. So refueling is done. We can first check the weather. As you can see, there is no cloud here. Oops, wrong direction as usual. No cloud here detected, so that's fine for that. And flight plan at the origin, which is UKKK. And the destination will be Antalya Airport in the south of Turkey. We wait until it's added to the destination part. Come on. And there it is. Procedure. So we will depart from runway 26 via the Basor 1 Lima departure. Runway 26, load that in, go back, flight plan, whoops, go back, flight plan, Basor, and then we add the first en route waypoint, which then will be Rakur. Another waypoint which will then be Bravo Alpha Golf. Duplicated. Well, it's this one, obviously. Then we have another waypoint which is Hisar. Where is it? Hisar over here. And that's it. That's the complete route for today. We're expecting runway 36 right in Antalya. So let me check the weather in Antalya. So the weather tells us we have wind with 350 degrees, 28 knots. So that's going to be an excited landing again. Clouds and visibility is okay. We have a temperature of 14 degrees. And we have a gusting wind up to 34 knots on runway 36 right, temporarily. So we need to take that into consideration when approaching, but well, there will be a lot of time left until we reach Antalya, and so yeah. So, procedure. We continue with the arrival procedure. Will be Hisar 1 Alpha. Hisar 1 Alpha for runway 36 right. Load that in. I didn't have a look yet on the charts for Antalya, so we might change that later on. And then we are expecting a... okay, wait. I think it's not completely loaded here, because there must be more than just the VOR approaches for the runways 218. So, approach. Yes, there are ILS approaches for runway 36 right. Of course they are. So there we go. ILS 36 right. We have Romeo, Sierra, Tango, Victor, Whiskey, X-Ray, Yankee, and Zulu. I have absolutely no idea what is what. So I will just check for Zulu. So we have ILS Zulu. And we have ILS Cut 2 Yankee. We have ILS X-Ray. ILS 2 Whiskey. ILS Victor. So I absolutely have no idea what's the difference there. Sierra looks fine as well. So I think I'm gonna use ILS Sierra. Don't ask me about the difference. I just have a look on the map, and I think that the ILS Sierra looks quite good. So transition is RA, which is Lara NDB on the above the airport. Actually, oh no. Let me check. What about ILS Zulu for runway 36 right? Okay, there we have Lara VUR. So let's take this. Why not? Load that in. And that's it with the arrival procedure. Speedbacks. We have a VR of 122 today. 122. We checked the nav source to GPS. We set the wind option 3 here. And we start the timer already. And we have done the same over here. And that's it for the beginning. So we are now ready to go. Still the same about the weather, except you can see the clouds over here. They disappeared. There were clouds, some more clouds before. And we will then turn on the anti-collision lights so they know that we will be starting soon. And then we start the APU. We check that the thrust is idle. It is. That's important so that when we start the engine, that they won't, you know, run up and build up thrust already. So APU is available. We need to turn on the APU generator now. That's on. And we are now ready to start our engines and continue taxi. So basically, I think we would need to taxi all around the airport up here and then turn down to the runway down here. But as there's no traffic inbound, as I can see on the web eye, I will actually taxi down the runway itself and do a long backtrack there. It's just easier for me, it's faster, and as there is no traffic inbound, that won't be a problem. So we can start the pushback now. As I said, APU is running, APU generator is turned on. My good old friend is arriving, and we should start to think about a name for this guy actually, because I think he will accompany us throughout the whole tour. So we should think about name. If you have any suggestion, I am collecting them and then I will decide. So we set up the autopilot, which is flight level 430 today, and actually no, we have flight level 410 today. And we are down now, so we can actually really start the pushback right now. Release parking brake. Start engine number 2. So Jeremy suggested Jeff as name for this guy over here. So Jeff has been added to the name list. And start engine number 2. Come on. Parking brake is set. Pushback completed. Bye bye, Jeff. It's not decided yet, I just called him Jeff because this is the first name I have. We have a sharp turn, so we will fly a maximum of speed 210 until this turn here is done. Sorry about my nose, I just sneezed a lot of time. And engine number 1 is running up as well. And just I will be back shortly. Just give me a second, please. And I'm back. So, engine 1 is stable as well. We can set flaps 1 already for departure. And we will turn on the taxi lights. We don't need the spoilers to arm yet. And then we can release the parking brake and start taxiing to the runway. I won't arm the spoilers yet because I will have to brake before the runway, on the runway, before the departure, and they will then be disarmed anyway, so I can wait until we are finally ready to go. And as we are now taxiing onto the runway, we will turn on the landing lights and the pulse lights, and we will set the transponder mode to on so that other aircrafts can see us on the TCAS. And there we are on the runway. And we will now taxi down the runway until the very end, and then we will turn around and depart. So Jeremy, I hope you can see that I can at least taxi on the center line. See, I'm perfectly fine centered on the center line. Wonderful. And as soon as the spoilers are armed, we are basically ready to go. So we will depart without any further delay. Also because time is short today. In like 2 hours there's the Olympic ice hockey game of Germany versus Canada, which will be very interesting. And I know that I most likely won't be on the ground then when they start, but I'll try to give my best. So today we will actually use the Y of 270 knots as the best climb rate. Well, this airport I think is very strange, like from the taxiways, because there's so much just free space over here, and if you stay there and you need to taxi like me to runway 26, then you have to taxi all down the runway. Just why don't they do a taxiway down here? But you need to, like, you know, you stay here, you park here, and then you need to taxi up there to the main terminal, then taxi all around the airport, and then you come down this taxiway over here to finally reach the runway over here. I absolutely don't understand, but you can see that you can turn and turn around over here. So we don't need to taxi down the runway to the very end, but I will do that anyway, just to be sure to have enough runway available. We won't need that, but just to be sure. Well, the center line probably feels used for the first time ever. Yeah, at least from me, yeah. Watching ice hockey as sports in general while flying is the best anyway. Yep, I really like that. The problem is my TV is not in my computer room, so there's absolutely no way for me to watch that. And my phone screen is just too small for that. I don't feel good doing that. We will taxi around this little light over here so we don't destroy it. It's enough, I think, if I destroy the cars all the time on the airport, so we don't need to destroy the lamps as well. And by the way, Jeremy, that's also the reason why I don't land on the center line. I don't want to destroy the lamps built in there. So we are on the runway. Let's check again. Lights are all on. We need to turn pilot heat on now, and then we need to depart quite fast. Turn off the APU, arm the spoilers, and then thrust and go. Take off. So departure time will be 11:25 or maybe 24, but it's not that important. So we have passed, we rotate, and we will depart. Positive rate of climb, gear up, and we can turn on versus we can turn on the flight director, nav and autopilot, and there we go. So we will maintain 210 knots. No TV in the PC room. In Germany you call it Geringverdiener. Of course. Yeah, and we are in the air. We will now turn left, and if we have a look outside of the window, we won't pass any clouds. So for now we don't need the anti-ice, but we still have to pay attention for building ice. And once the turn is done, I will increase the speed to 250 knots. Departure time 11:24. Thank you, Jeremy, for noting. And I will now write that down as well. Uh, 11:24. Okay, that's it. Turn is done, basically, so I will increase the speed to 250 knots. And I will increase the climb rate as well. 3,500. Oh, and flaps up now as we approach 250. There we can see VY is set at 270 knots. So we just wait until passing flight level 100. I can now set the barometric pressure to standard already, 29092. 29092 set. There's the airport. There you can see the taxiways. So we parked over here, and then I needed to taxi all the way up and then around there to here. So the way down the runway was shorter a lot. So we are passing now flight level 100. So turn off the lights, increase the speed to 270, which is our VY. It's not 100% correct because it's always 270, because it's the standard of this aircraft. So it might be like, I don't know, 265 or 275 or whatever, but overall it's should be somewhere around there. And then we click flight level change, increase the speed again to 270 knots, and then we will let the aircraft climb on as fast as it wants. Just buttered the second landing for today. Well, you're flying A321, that's not hard. And you can see now we're climbing with 5,800, 5,900 feet per minute. So we're getting on our cruise altitude quite fast. And you can see that it's reducing the higher we get, the more it's reducing. And of course I forgot the timer again, so we'll start it a little later. And according to our flight plan, well, top of climb will be shortly after Rubos. Shortly after Rubos. So we will see if this is correct or not. because as we noticed the last time, we don't need 20 minutes to reach flight level 410. Although I think the 20 minutes is calculated with a with an aircraft with maximum takeoff weight. Not sure though, but I think so. And you can see the climb rate is reducing all the time as we get higher, because the air gets thinner, and yeah, therefore we just need more thrust to maintain our speed. And we just cross Basel at the moment. And after Basel we have to go like 20 minutes, no, 10 minutes for Zulum, which would be on the airway, but actually as we fly more or less direct to the single waypoints, so our next one would be Rakur, and we are right now on the airway Mike 856. And this will take almost 1 hour to go there, so that's why you can see here it's very long to go. Map setting I want to have heading up. It looks better. I can, like, you know, if you have north up, it's, well, depends on what you want, track up or heading up. So you can see that this is our current heading, but this is our actual track. So we are going sideways as we have a tailwind of 83 knots. And yeah, that's the difference. Wasn't about buttering, more about blaming myself for already finishing 2 flights at 12:30. Well, if I wouldn't have to work in the morning, then I would have done my flight as well again. So don't worry about that, Jeremy. No clouds ahead, no anti-ice needed then. And we also have an outside air temperature of minus 48 degrees, so there's no ice building anyway, because there's no ice building above or below minus 40 degrees. And as soon as we reach flight level 410, I will increase our Mach to 0.82. For now, we're just flying 270 indicated. We need to have a look on the maximum speed, because it will come down very shortly, as we just passed flight level 310 already. So there will be the red line of overspeed coming down further and further the higher we get. And our route today will bring us over the Black Sea. We will pass Crimea region on the west, and then we will reach Turkey. I just wrote a pilot who's taking the long haul tour because I met him yesterday when I flew from Bangkok to Brisbane, and he's right now flying from Brisbane to Tahiti far, and I just wished him a nice flight. And there is his reply. See, there is the overspeed line already, and so we need now to switch to Mach, and we have Mach 0.82. We will maintain this. And we can now go back to the speed bugs and delete the VY. Don't need that anymore. We can also delete VR, and we will set the V approach to 118 again. We won't get this low, so we can set this up already. 118. And you can see we are 8 minutes in the air at the moment and already at flight level 390. And that's basically it. We're now on our way. According to IVAO WebEye, they tell me that I have a 1 hour 24 minutes flight in front of us. So let me see. So our landing time will be 13:03 UTC. That will be 14:03 German time, so I could make it on time to the ice hockey game. That would be amazing, actually. So there's absolutely no time today for a go around, and the runway in Antalya is long enough, so even if we do a long landing, that will be no problem at all, because we can still touch down and come to a stop just in time. And we reached cruising altitude after 10 minutes plus, like, 2 or 3 minutes maybe. We have an outside air temperature of minus 60 degrees. That's very cold, I'd say. And you can see in the overlay it's saying 13:05 will be our arrival. And I just have to go to the door because the doorbell just rings. I'll be back shortly. And I'm back. And we will shortly reach the Black Sea. Let me see if you can see it in front of us. No, you cannot. Somewhere over there is the start of the Black Sea. Come on, 41,000. Very nice. Whereby it tells me I'm at 40,000 feet instead of 41, but I set the pressure to standard, so there's nothing else I could do. You can see it, by the way, down here on the map. There's the Black Sea starting. And then we have also Crimea to the left. Well, at least we don't have a closed ceiling, so we will be able to see the Black Sea once we pass from land to water. So basically, even though we fly a total distance of about 880 nautical miles, we will just cross two countries. We will depart Ukraine, we go over the Black Sea, and then we approach Turkish airspace. I'm not sure if there's any other airspace in between. So I think that we should just fly this route with just two countries involved. Then here on the right side, UKOO is Odessa, the airport of Odessa. I don't think we will see it, but you can see this river here, which is over here, and there you can see the Black Sea starting over here. And let me see on the left side if there is something to see. No, there is not. and we are now close to cross the seaside. Leaving gate Alpha 49 at Zurich on the way to Oslo. You should jump out and have a little swim. Autopilot flies anyway. I thought about that yesterday as well when I did my long haul flight, but actually the autopilot did some really stupid stuff, like 360 mid-air and stuff like that. So I'm better stay here. But actually I just thought about doing lunch. I don't know what, maybe a pizza or something, but for that I would need to leave as well. Hi Chase, welcome to the stream. And no, Jeremy, that was the autopilot of the A330. But yeah, you're right, this one is actually fine. Or at least it was in the past, so... What is that? I mean, it's an island, of course, but this one here... That doesn't look natural, actually. That's really weird. And it's here on the map as well. Let me zoom in a little bit. Yeah, it's down here as well. Let me check if this is also visible. Yeah, that's also on the real world map. So I absolutely don't know what that is. So we will now reach Crimea area. But we cannot see it due to the clouds. It's over here. Or actually it's more over here. But yeah, we cannot see it. We can see it on the map here, I think. This is Crimea region. So I will now just have a quick run into the kitchen, and I will see what there is for lunch. I will start some music for you again. My standard playlist. I don't have anything else at the moment. But yeah, I will be back shortly, and then we will start our descent towards Antalya. So see you later. And I am back in the cockpit. To be honest, I was there all day, yeah, all the time, but I was eating, so. We are shortly before BAG VOR, and this is Baglum VOR. After Baglum, we have somewhat 16-17 minutes until we reach our top of descent according to our flight plan, and I will now start to check if this is somewhere close to what it needs to be. So I will have a direct to the waypoint of let's see if this works. AI 722. Check. Oh, that's working. At least I hope that's the correct one. Bearing of 42 degrees. No. Let me type that in again because it should be closer now if this would be the correct one. So AI 722. Oh, it's getting closer indeed. Let me see on the flight plan if I can see that. I cannot see the coordinates, unfortunately, because otherwise I could check if this is the correct waypoint. So I just hope that is the correct one, and according to the flight plan, according to the charts, we need to be at or above 11,000 when we cross this waypoint. And according to the flight plan, we should be at flight level 191. So if this is correct, we would need to descend about 22,000 feet times 3, make it 66. So we need to start our descent 66 nautical miles before AI 722. Yeah. So we keep that waypoint. And I will try to descend around that time or a little bit earlier so that we are at or above flight level 110 once we cross this waypoint. Maybe a little bit higher because mountains around there are pretty high. The minimum safe altitude around that point is, by the way, 10,500 feet, so that's why it says at or above 11,000. And so if we would be on 13,000, that would be fine as well. If we would be on flight level 190, that would be fine as well. And we have, according to IVAO, we still have 27 minutes to go. According to the overlay, I have 26 minutes to go. And according to our GPS, I have somewhat more to go. Let me check if I am on real time. I am. So it's telling me it's 13:13 while I gonna land. So this is 2 minutes more than it is set by IVAO. So we'll check the weather again. We have 350 with 24 knots. So we will still land on runway 36 right, although we could also land on 36 center, but well, nah, doesn't matter. 36 right is fine as well. "25 seconds to go to Baglum VOR. Baglum VOR. Commencing our right turn. And I have to check what's going on with my cat. We'll be back shortly. And I'm back. So where was I? Yeah, wind is still 350 at 24 knots. And we have temporarily a wind of 340 at 21 knots on runway 36 right, so that's no problem. And we are close to our descent. Let me check this waypoint again, AI 722. By the way, it was 217.4. 217.4. Yeah, and now it's 152.6. So it's definitely the correct waypoint, whereas bearing 42 degrees is a little bit weird. On the other hand, if it takes the heading up north, then 42 degrees might be correct. Yeah, could be. Not sure though, but could be. We are approaching now Hisar, and after Hisar we have 1 minute until our top of descent, according to our flight plan. And by the way, at Hisar or let's say at Baglum, we should have had the fuel of 1.3 tons on board, and I just have gallons over here. So if I check it here, we have 1,300 and unfortunately 36, not 37 anymore. Yeah, so 1.3 we should have at Baglum, and we have now 1.3, but we are already past Baglum, so we are absolutely fine according to the fuel. Next waypoint is Hilal, but it's not on the route, so next waypoint on the route is Hisar, which is our approach point, and I should have 1.1 ton of fuel on board. So that should be, we should have like 1.2 or something like that by then, or 1.150 or whatever. I'm curious if the top of descent will be really long enough. Because if I type in Hisar over here, Hisar, we have 66 nautical miles to go to Hisar, and if I type in the other waypoint, 126. So our top of descent according to the flight plan is behind Hisar, so if I reduce this waypoint by 66 nautical miles, we come to 60. So it's perfect. Absolutely perfect. But to be honest, I then will descend a little bit earlier, just to make sure that we don't have to descend like on a very steep angle. And also I think like 17 minutes before the approach, there is a good point to start the descent. So I think I will start our descent at around like 30 nautical miles before Hisar. I will reduce already 150, that's definitely enough. And at this point, AI 730, we have to be at flight level 170 or above, and we will definitely accomplish that. So we have 6 minutes left to reach Hisar. We would need to descend with an angle of 2,400 feet per minute. So we'll start a little earlier and then descend with 2,000 feet per minute. Which actually should be fine. Check the weather radar. Nothing on there, nothing to expect. No, nothing here. Back to map mode. And we are close to our top of descent, to our own top of descent, of course. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna start now. 2,000 feet. There we go. And you can see the mountains down here already. You can see the mountains up there. And that's why we need to descend to a... you can also, by the way, see the mountains up here. Yeah, and that's the reason why we have to be at a certain altitude before crossing the mountains over there. You can see that the indicated airspeed is increasing even though we keep Mach 0.82. And you can now see that we have an outside international standard temperature of 4 degrees. Also the outside air temperature is going down from minus, what was it, 68, minus 62 to minus 53. So you can definitely see that we come into some more southern area, a warmer area. Although we have still snow here on the ground. But that's northern Turkey. If we come to the south, it will be warm and sunny. You can see already it's going to be bumpy. But of course it will. Above the mountains, that's absolutely normal. So we are approaching AI 730, where we need to have flight level 170 or above. So we'll keep track on that, and just in case we will descend further, then I would stop the descent, but of course we just have 26 nautical miles to go, so we will definitely not be able to reach flight level 170 by then. Am I mistaken, or is that a frozen lake and here it's not frozen? Or do I see that wrong? No, let me check the... Yeah, that's a sea. Or a lake. And that's a lake down here, and this part is frozen while this part isn't. Wow, I wouldn't have thought that this is implemented in the flight simulator, that a part of the lake can be frozen and the other part is not. That's amazing. Maybe that depends on the temperature. So if you have a temperature of like, I don't know, -5, -10 degrees, then maybe the lake is part-time frozen, and if you have like -15, -20, -25, whatever, maybe the lake is completely frozen. I don't know how this is implemented into the flight simulator, but actually I love it. Makes it even more real. Doesn't look like very nice because of all these fractions here, but and it's moving, so yeah. But overall I love it that the part is frozen and the other part is not. And you can even see that turquoise water here. Oh yeah, and just don't forget to join my Discord channel. It's discord.io/GermanFlightSimmer, and then you can be up to date with my live streams. You will be able to request some routes, post some screenshots if you will fly along with me or whatever. So yeah, if you want, just join my Discord channel. And I need to reduce the speed now. 305. Nearly forgot it again because I was watching the outside, the half-frozen lake. Now you can see the mountains down here. And there you are. We're passing AI 730. We are now inbound Sozem. And according to the charts, there is no speed and no altitude restriction over Sozem. There's just a minimum holding altitude of 12,000 feet, so yeah. We won't need to hold over there. Oh, and by the way, we should have passed Hizar with a maximum of 260 knots. I didn't note that, but the speed restriction will be cancelled at Sozem anyway. So, yeah. Now we don't need to reduce anymore. This is just for, like, you know, separation of other aircraft, but as we are the only one, I don't think it's a problem. And you can see how bumpy it is already as we are over the mountains. But you can also see that as we're coming more south of Turkey, so above here there's everything is covered in snow, while down here the snow will stop as we are getting more south and less mountains. So we're now getting into the holiday area, so to say. So we will pass SOSM in 4.7 nautical miles. And then we will approach AI 722, which needs to be crossed at or above 11,000, as I just said. And I think that's because we overfly these mountains here. And for that we need to be at flight level 110 or above. And actually I think I will stay at flight level 150, because we're actually, I will stop the climb at 160, because I think the turbulences will be more heavy if we are lower to the ground. And just for the convenience of our passengers, I will stop the descent on 16,000 feet, so that the turbulence might be not that heavy. And later on I want to descend a little bit faster or steeper, just to match the altitude restrictions in case I have to do that. But to be honest, we will intercept the glide slope at 3,000 feet anyway. So we will have, after AI 716, after this waypoint over here, AI 716, we will fly southwards and until we turn right to intercept the ILS. And yeah, so that won't be any problem. We will be flying heading 182, and yeah, that's basically it. What I can do is actually I can turn in the heading. I don't know how this route will continue after AA 716. 182, because if I see that correct on the map, we will fly to what was it, Lara? I think it was Lara VOR. Or maybe it's also Antalya VOR where we fly to. But anyway, we will fly to the VOR, if it's correct what I can see here. And yeah, of course, because that's the ILS approach for runway 36 right we chose. Let me see if there is another ILS approach where we can fly any other transition. But no, all of the approaches will come via Lara VOR, but we won't do that. We will fly according to the star, according to Hizar-1 Alpha Arnav star. So past AI 716 we will fly heading 182, descend to 3000 with 220 knots, and then we will turn right to intercept the ILS. And we are past the mountains, so we can continue our descent to the next. So we should reach 715 at or above 9,000. And I will now turn in 3,000 already, as this will be our platform altitude for the ILS 36, right? Speed reduced to 80 knots. Or actually we can reduce it even further, because I need to have to and we are now inbound Lara, but we will fly heading 182. See, we will cross 716. I will reduce the speed now to 220 knots. What I also can do is now I activate the approach, so that will delete this one and activates just this part, or at least that's what it should do. Okay, it doesn't do it. Anyway, we will check the ILS frequency. For 36 right Zulu, it's 108.1, and you can see this is not set in, so 108.1 and transfer. Do that into nav1. I will check the bearing to nav1 and the nav source to nav1 as well. And we continue on this heading. And I now have to reduce the speed, so I will click flight level change and reduce the speed to 20 knots. I also will turn on the landing lights. So you can see the glide slope is already alive or activated, as well as the localizer is captured. How's it set? It's not captured because we didn't capture it. It's also not alive because it's not moving. But well, yeah. Anyway, we have it in the system. So we continue this heading until we reach 3000, and then we will turn right at DME. Let me see. DME 6. Actually 6.5. We should be at 1,500 feet already. So let me switch that down. 105. We can now insert the QNH as we cross the transition level. QNH is 1017, and I just have to press B because I cannot set it automatic. I cannot set it in hectopascal. And we have this one inbound here, IALI, which is the Antalya ILS. We are now 8 miles out, and we will go until 10 DME, and then we will turn right. Turn right now. Whoops. Heading 270. Why is it saying that west is heading 200? Oh no, 270. Okay, I mixed up this one with this heading. And we will reduce the speed. And now we fly heading 330. Can reduce the speed even further. We won't really reduce it because we are still in a steep descent, but I can use the speed brakes. So you can see speed's going down now. We will fly heading 330 degrees, 330. And click the approach mode button. Glide slope is alive. And by the way, you should turn to the RLS, shouldn't you? So we will fly now heading 3030 to intercept again. We are below the glide, so that's fine. Flaps 1. We are approaching 1,500 feet, so I can put up the speed brakes. And there we have the airport. So I just now hope that it's intercepting. I'm not able to figure out like when or how the approach is activated. So I said load and activate. I clicked on activate, but nothing's happening. But well, so turn left please now. Come on. So I have to click on nav. I don't know why. Maybe I have to use both of it. I absolutely don't know. There's the runway. Flaps 2, gear down. We have the anti-ice on. I don't know why. Ground spoilers arm. Don't know why they were disarmed. Heading mode. And in case of a go around, we are climbing on radial 032 of Lara VOR, which is 116.15 116.15 active. We want to have this in here and approach. So glide slope is captured, and now reduce the speed. Final approach speed. Lights are on. Spoilers armed. APU still off. Flaps 2. We can now set flaps full. And let me see if I can change this. No, of course not. I cannot change it. But, well, we have to fly a heading of 032. I will tune that in. So just in case we need to go around, I can fly to heading 032. Climbing 3000. And then we continue to proceed to the VOR Lara or Lara. And we must not exceed a speed of 180 knots until inbound Lara VOR. Okay, we are set. You can see I'm not doing anything. It's done by the autopilot, but you can see how shaky it is. So we are at 500 and wow, that's shaky. It's still autopilot. Thank you, Jeremy, for the information, but you should better watch my landing because it's really shaky out here. And I have a feeling that the airport looks quite strange over here. Not sure what's going on there, but well, we will see. That's not gonna be on the center line, but with this wind, it's absolutely no wonder. Oh well, actually it's not that bad if there's no gust. Flaps down, touchdown, reversers on. 60 knots, reversers off. And we will vacate next to the left. Turn off the flight directors. Whoa, so many lamps. Landing time is 13:19. And we will hold before that line and clean up the aircraft. So set the parking brake. Landing lights off, pulse lights off. Transponder, stand by. Start the APU, flaps up. Ground spoilers disarm, that's okay. And then we open our charts for the taxi. So we are taxiing to the apron 2 or even apron 3, which is on our left side. So we will go to the left side over here. Actually, Jeremy, I should start to let a record program running, so that I can watch my landing again once I'm on the ground. Because I absolutely don't know, like, you know, 200 feet per minute sounds hard, but I'm not sure how accurate this program is. So maybe it's not even that hard. I don't know. So I can stop the timer, flight time of 1 hour 50. And yeah, we go to apron 2. We turn now right. And let's see if Jeff is somewhere near. No. Maybe he's driving there. Let me see if Jeff is here somewhere. Pushback truck, pushback truck. No. 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 No, he's not here. He is not here. Can you believe that? Or maybe he's waiting on us on apron 2. But you know what? I don't care. And let me see. These are the gates as well, but there are, like, if I go left here, I have a pushback truck standing right in front of me, and I don't think that's, like, you know, that's okay. That should be like it. If I go one gate further, I have the what is it, catering truck or stuff like that. So that's also not possible to park at that gate. And so we'll take the next one, but that's a problem with the static aircraft here on the flight simulator. So we will just take this gate over here. And I just hope I won't cut off this catering truck over here. Parking brake set, APU generator is on, so we can stop the engines. And there we are. Turn off the anti-collision lights. Don't need that anymore. And yeah, there we are. Welcome to Antalya. Oh, and I just got the message from who is it? Let me see that. I said, hi, I'm Airflot 2142, stand 233 at Antalya. Nice landing. Thank you very much, Alexei. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to see my landing from outside the aircraft. I just said I need to start the replay program so that I can watch the landing from outside of the airplane. But yeah, anyway, we are now in Antalya. Let me just quickly write down my... no, that's the wrong note. This one. Landing was at 13:19. 13:19 landing in Antalya. So yeah, this was our next tour leg of the BizJet Worldtour from IVAO, leg 16. The next leg will be from here, from Antalya to Georgia, to Tbilisi, and that will be let me see. That will be a little bit shorter than the than today's route, so it will take us I think something around like 1 hour and 40, or maybe 1 hour 30, something around that. So yeah, that's it for today. By the way, there is Alexei over here, over there, in the Aeroflot. Actually, not yet visiting Russia, because the world tour is. Let me see if there is a Russian airport later on, because I'm going now to fly more to the south. We're heading towards Africa, and actually no, yeah, we are. There are 2 Russian airports. The first one is Volgograd International Airport. From there we go to Vnukovo International, and if I'm not mistaken, I think Vnukovo isn't that the 3rd airport of Moscow? I'm not sure, maybe I'm mistaken, but I think that's the 3rd airport of Moscow, besides Sheremetyevo and what is the other one? Domododofo, or what the name is. I cannot remember, sorry if I pronounce it wrong. Yeah, but well, the next waypoint, the next leg then is to Vnukovo Airport, and that will be leg number 68. So this tour just consists of 70 legs, so the second last leg will be from Volgograd to Vnukovo Airport. So I will visit you in Moscow, but it will take a long time until I will be there. Actually, I'm sorry about that. And yeah, but I'm really looking forward to approach there, because I have been to Sheremetyevo in the past in Flight Simulator. I really like the approach there, and that you have like 3 airports within the city. So I'm really looking forward to the approach to Vnukovo. And if you, Alexei, if you want to have the information when I'm going to fly there, you can join my Discord channel on discord.io/GermanFlightSimmer. Of course, you can also subscribe here on YouTube, because I plan to fly every or to stream every leg of the BizJet tour, or at least upload it as a video. Yeah, so if you want, you can follow me, and then you won't miss any other leg of the world tour, and of course you will also see the 2 legs in Russia. Yeah, so I wish you a nice flight planning back to Moscow for the completion of the tour. Thank you for stepping in on my live stream. I really appreciate it. And yeah, maybe I can see you next time as well. So for all the others who are watching the video or who are currently watching the live stream, thank you very much for joining as well. We are today in Antalya. Next leg is going to Tbilisi in Georgia. I hope you have a great what is it, Thursday afternoon, and I might fly another leg tonight at well, let's say 17 Zulu or maybe 1730 Zulu, I'm not sure yet. So have a look on YouTube if you can see any planned moment for me, and then you can join in on the next leg to Georgia. Thank you very much, guys, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye.